Okay, let's take a look at the highlights of the other two games. First, the Washington Redskins take on the Minnesota Vikings at the scene of their Super Bowl win last year, the Metrodome in Minnesota. It's the Vikings' first drive of the game.
The 14-yard pickup, and Salisbury going deep for Carter again. Caught at the 1-yard line. Randall McDaniel, the guard, is the fullback in the eye, and he leads the way for Allen. Touchdown.
And with the point after, Minnesota take an early 7-0 lead. Then on Minnesota's next drive, second play in, Sean Salisbury goes deep to Anthony Carter, but it's intercepted by Martin Mayhew, who takes it all the way back to the Viking 33. A 44-yard return. That sets up this Chip Lohmeiler 44-yard field goal. It's up and straight, and it's 7-3. Early in the second quarter, it's turnover time. Rippon, looking for Gary Clark, is intercepted by Todd Scott. Then Salisbury to Chris Carter, picked off by Brian Edwards. It's a Redskins ball deep in Viking territory.
3rd and 10, and it's caught at the 4-yard line by Art Monk. First and goal, and they give it to Biner. And Ernest, looking for a signal, gets it. Touchdown, Ernest Biner.
And Washington lead 10-7. Then on the next drive, they fake a punt, and Brian Mitchell takes it 38 yards to the Viking 18. Then Mitchell again.
And Brian Mitchell is inside the 5. Brian Mitchell is in for the touchdown.
And Washington take a 17-7 lead at halftime, late in the third quarter.
Dolman can't sack Rippon, who then finds Clark at the 26 for a big first down. 3rd down and 7. Rippon for Clark, who's open. Touchdown.
And a great read with Rippon and Clark.
And the Redskins show they're still a force to be reckoned with. Final score, Redskins 24, Vikings 7. A cold and wet Jack Murphy Stadium in the usually sunny Southern California was the scene of the other AFC wildcard matchup. The Kansas City Chiefs at the San Diego Chargers, and things did not get off to a good start. Late in the second quarter, the Chargers' John Carney attempts a 52-yard field goal, but it's no good, still scoreless. Then, midway through the third.
And Butts pounds into the middle, and Butts breaks it. 30, 20, 10, touchdown, San Diego.
And with the point after, it's San Diego 7, Kansas City nothing. Then, first play of the next drive. The Chiefs' Dave Craig goes up the middle, but it's tipped and then intercepted by Leslie O'Neal. And that leads to this John Carney 34-yard field goal attempt, and it's good. The Chargers take a 10-0 lead. Then, after 10 plays and 86 yards, the Chargers again.
Near the 5-yard line. Touchdown, Steve Hendrickson.
The San Diego Chargers shut out the Kansas City Chiefs 17-0.
He's been the best quarterback in football the last 2 years, and this season's MVP. Yet Steve Young is still haunted by a living legend. Montana back in the pocket. In the beginning, no one could catch him.
Looking, throwing in the end zone.
He turned the comeback into an art form. And his ability to rebound from injuries would make the $6 billion man envious. Montana is down.
We can rebuild him. We have the technology. We can make him better than he was. Better, stronger, faster.
But 2 years ago, we found out that even the bionic quarterback is mortal. To the 49ers' rescue comes Steve Young. Statistically, he's been every bit as good as Montana. But now it's playoff time, and erasing the memories of a legend will be tougher, especially when you look at Joe Montana's trophy case. The Washington Redskins added trophy number 3 to their collection last season, but they never regained that form this year. Washington still made it back to the playoffs to defend their hard-earned title, and last week they blew the doors off the Metrodome. Today they're prepared to meet the 49ers head-on.
It's an NFC divisional playoff. It could be Candlestick Lake in San Francisco after a week of bad weather. But today it's pleasant, but the track is muddy as the Washington Redskins come to town to face the Super Bowl favorites, the San Francisco 49ers, in front of 65,000 fans.
The 49ers will open with the football. It's a soggy, heavy field. Candlestick. Chip Lohmiller set to kick it off. It will affect the traction on both sides of the ball. I'm not sure who that helps, but it won't be what they call a fast track as Lohmiller hits it in the direction of Alan Grant, but this will be Mark Logan. Logan slips down, lost the ball momentarily, and down he goes there. Brantley made sure he stayed down. Steve Young opens at quarterback for the 49ers. What a year he's had in front of him, and they've all had good years too. Wallace, McIntyre, Sopolo, Foster, Harris, Barton back at right tackle, Brent Jones the tight end. Ricky Waters and Tom Rathman, who had a game's rest 2 weeks ago, and then Rice and John Taylor are wide. Steve Young. Jones in motion, and Young goes right to work to Rice, and he could be off to the track. Jerry Rice into Redskins territory, out of bounds at the 48. 35 yards on the first play.
We were talking to Steve Young yesterday, and he said he likes to get the ball early in the game to Jerry Rice. He sure did.
Washington's defensive line, Collins, Johnson, Buck, and Mann in front. Andre Collins, Gobea, and Wilbur Marshall. Mayhew, Johnson, Edwards, and Copeland, the secondary. He's made a lot of people slip. Outside it comes to Waters. Down and out of bounds at about the 42-yard line of Washington, a gain of 5. Knocked out by Andre Collins.
And this is playoff football right here. You get the defensive guy, you get the offensive guy, and you get the coach right in the middle of it. It must be playoff time.
Solid ingredients. Solid coaching by that guy.
Over a period of time, it was Bill Walsh's team, and since George Seifert has taken over, he has done an excellent job. Ricky Waters got knocked right into George Seifert. In fact, he got knocked in there twice. I think George Seifert throws a left.
I think he does.
I think I see the left hand coming out of there.
I know he messed up his hair. That's not a good sign.
Yeah, well, he doesn't worry about the hair. Some of them do. He's not one of them.
Waters cut back and slipped. Got perhaps a yard. And that turf, it's been raining and raining and raining. And, John, you've been here. You know, it's been an unusually wet week.
Well, you know what happens, and this field cannot take the wet because it's lower than sea level, and it used to be the same thing over at the Oakland Coliseum, and when it gets wet here, it just stays there. So footing is going to be a problem. This is going to be a heavy field at the start, and it's going to get heavier as the game goes on.
3 wide receivers set up for the 49ers. Mike Sherrard split wide right. Young back to throw it. Steps up in the pocket and wheels it out to Brent Jones. He has a great feel for the passing game, as they say. And he illustrates it one more time. A gain of 23, knocked out of bounds by Edwards.
Excellent pass protection here, Pat. Here's what it all starts with, because Steve Young doesn't go to his first receiver. Watch the time he has. He's looking out to his right, comes back to his middle, finds Brent Jones going across, and he hits a wide-open tight end. But that's the thing about this team is it all starts here. You talk about the wide receivers in the back, but they have a very good offensive line. An offensive line that can give Steve Young the protection that he needs.
1st and 10 at the 20. Taylor wide left. Fake to Waters. This is Young. Takes the pass out of bounds. Doesn't go out of bounds. Cuts it down to about the 5. Danny Copeland tripped him up. Young scrambled for 15.
And I tell you, and that was an organized scramble. This is a bootleg. They're going to get the backs going to the right. You see, he fakes to the right, puts the ball out here. Now it's an option runner pass. But I think he was going to run all the way. He just used that fake of the pass just to keep that defense off. And Steve Young is one of those quarterbacks that when he gets on the sideline or near the sideline, he's not going to automatically go out of bounds.
That was illustrated right there. 1st and goal from the 5, the 49ers. Very impressive on this opening drive. Here's Young. Deflected and caught by John Taylor on the rebound. Touchdown. 5 yards away. The Redskins had a shot at it. It went right through one of the Redskins, and Taylor made an outstanding catch.
That's the thing about Steve Young. You know, he can move, and he moved out of the pocket like 3 times. Here it is. It's a bootleg again. It's the same play that he had just run the play before on. You see it just goes right through A.J. Johnson's hand. Govea was there first. It went by Govea and then through A.J. Johnson and then finally to the touchdown to John Taylor.
You talk about amazing concentration. For that ball to go past one player and through another and him still be able to make the catch. That's remarkable. Extra point good. 7-0. San Francisco, and a scuffle erupts again. Touchdown again. Young, pass Govea, through Johnson, touchdown Taylor. Brian Mitchell and Danny Copeland back deep for Washington. Kofer to kick off for the 49ers. Mitchell. Brian Mitchell out of bounds. Mark Rippon opens at quarterback. In front of him, sort of a rebuilt offensive line with Shea, Ray Brown, McKenzie at center, Larette, Simmons, and Ron Middleton, the tight end. Biner, Monk, Sanders, and Clark, the receivers. That all changes from play to play. Biner will be the setback behind Rippon. Fake to Biner. Rippon throws it away. Monk in Rippon's aim, but the aim wasn't very good. On defense, the 49ers. Fagan, Carter, and Holt, the front three. Romanowski, Walter, DeLong, and Tim Harris, the leading sacker. The linebackers, Griffin and Davis, the corners, Dana Hall, the #1 draft choice, the rookie, along with Whitmore in the secondary. 2nd and 10, Washington. To Biner. Outside the 25 to the 27, a pickup of 4.5, perhaps. Mike Walter made the tackle. 3rd and 6. The field is sloppy, and it's going to be a factor.
And it's going to get worse.
That was Monk in motion, and Rippon with the pressure on. Lost the football, tossed it to Biner at the last minute. But the heat was put on by Pierce Holt.
I tell you, Pierce Holt made a heck of a move. He came right up the gut. You're going to see Pierce Holt is right here, and he makes a move here, and then boom, straight up the gut on that play. Watch him. This is the thing, then you call that a swim move. He hit Charette with his inside hand, brought his outside arm over, and the next thing he saw was Mark Rippon.
That is called a sack.
I don't know what the heck Mark Rippon was doing or what he saw, but that was an awfully dangerous thing to do.
Wasn't it? So it's a loss of 7 yards. Alan Grant back deep to the 49ers for Goodburn's punt. They kick away from him. It takes a San Francisco bounce. And they'll take over at about midfield, leading 7-0 already. 29 yards on the punt. That's all. Young to Water. Good block in front of him by McIntyre.
You know, that first drive of the 49ers was excellent. They had 6 plays. It was all a Steve Young drive. All passes, and the only one run was his run. And the 49er offensive coordinator now is Mike Shanahan, and he's the guy right there in the middle. And he has the same thing that Bill Walsh used to have, where he would script the first 15 plays. So he has them. In fact, on Friday night, he sits down and he decides the first 15 plays they're going to use. I don't know how the other 6 or 7 are going to go, but those first 6 were a good ones.
2nd and 10. Young out of the pocket, scrambling, first down, fumble. Flag on the play. The Redskins have the football recovered by Brad Edwards. There was a flag on the play.
The Redskins felt coming into this game. In fact, Richie Pettibone says the only chance we have here is by getting turnovers. We need
Illegal
at least
motion.
4.
Number 80 on
There's
the offense.
number 1.
That penalty is declined. First down.
Red Cashin, the referee. Penalty declined, so the Redskins will take over at their own 37.
This is one thing happens when you run with that ball in a motion that is a wild motion, things are going to happen. Now watch number 60, Fred Stokes here. You see, you can't see him coming, and that's usually where the ball gets stripped, is when the guy comes in behind and does that chop move on you.
And more and more they do that.
Right, and I think Lawrence Taylor first started it. Fred Stokes did it that time.
That's Biner to the 40. He got 3 yards. DeLong and Carter made the stop.
Yeah, it's funny with these big games, you can say that this team has the offense and, against this defense, and they have to do this and they have to do that. And the one thing you can't account for are turnovers. When we talked to Steve Young yesterday, that's what he said, we can't have any turnovers. We talked to Richie Pettibone, the defensive coordinator, the defensive coach of the Redskins. He says, we need turnovers. If we don't get turnovers, we can't win this game.
We can't win without it. A lot of those names that you mentioned being mentioned as other head coaches. This is Biner no game. Shanahan, of course, has been rumored going to Denver. Richie Pettibone, they talk about taking over for Mike Ditka in Chicago.
You know that Richie Pettibone has been one of the top assistant coaches in this league for so many years, and you know that his day is going to come. I mean, he's going to be a head coach in this league someday, whether it's with Chicago Bears or not, but I mean, he is a bright, bright coach.
3rd and 7. Ball at the 40. Ripping to throw it. Out to Gary Clark. That should be enough for a first down. 8-yard pickup. Stopped by Magruder. Rippon had to throw that ball a long way for a simple square out.
I know, but Gary Clark is the type of guy that always thinks he's open, and you know what? Most of the time he really is. Whether you need that play just like that to get a first down, Clark will get it for you. You need the big one, he'll get that one for you. And I don't know if you could measure competitiveness in a guy, I don't know many people who would measure higher than Gary Clark.
That is very true. Rippon fakes. He has Monk, and he hit him. Art Monk out of bounds at the 49er 15. If there's a questionable part of this 49er machine, it would be against the pass.
And that's what the Redskins felt. They felt if we can get the time, if we can get some running going so we can play fake, which that was, that we can get deep against these guys. They have a young, inexperienced secondary. Dana Hall is a rookie back there at free safety. They want to take advantage of him, and they did. How do they block Tim Harris? You keep your tight end in, and you have Jim Lachey, one of the best tackles in the league. Put 2 guys on him, he's about their only dangerous pass rusher.
Ricky Sanders, the lone split receiver, split out wide to the right. They go to Biner. To the left, not much. DeLong stopped him after 2.
Now we're getting into an area where the Redskins have really had trouble this year. If you've looked, they've been inside this 20, the red zone they call it, and the Redskins aren't the only ones that have had trouble this year in that area, but they seem to have more trouble than anyone else. They scored a touchdown 36% of the time. The NFL average is 48%. I know when I was coaching, I used to think you ought to be up there around 75%. You get inside the 20, you ought to score a touchdown. But defenses in this area have gotten much, much better.
When you have more field goals than you do touchdowns, that's not a good sign. Outside to Biner. He breaks away from 2 49er tacklers and gets a Redskin first down at the 3. A gain of 10. It'll be 1st and goal. Washington finally taken down by Romanowski.
And that's the thing that you have to do, is you have to be able to tackle in the open field. And that was Romanowski. You're going to see Keith DeLong come out here and miss the tackle. You see they got him pinned in here. He cuts here. You see Romanowski misses first. That causes a little spinner. Then the spinner right in there behind is DeLong. And then he spins right out of both of those things and gets the ball down inside the 5-yard line. But boy, tackling is such a big part of this game. If you don't do that, you can't be a good defense.
Minor again. Didn't get in. Got down to about the 1.5. Stopped by Michael Carter. He's going to be hard to move on a field like this.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's you know, if you can't block the nose tackle, then you better start thinking of running a couple holes outside, because if you can't block that nose tackle, then you can't obviously run over the center, but you can't run over either guard area.
Ricky Sanders was the deep back. Now he moves out in the slot to the left, leaving Biner by himself behind Rippon. And Biner gets the carry. Not finding much of a gap to go through. Whitmore made the stop, no gain.
The Redskins stayed in regular formation. They had 3 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Usually they go to a form of a couple of tight ends down in this area, but they're not. Joe Gibbs wanted the threat of the pass, even though he still ran that counter tray play. The 49ers want to squeeze that counter tray, take the whole inside away, and if there is any hole, make them bounce that one to the outside.
Rippon in the corner, way out of Clark's reach. And one more time, we'll see Chip Lohmiller. This is exactly what you were talking about a minute ago.
You know what happens? You have a lack of success there, and then you get down there, and it's just hard to have confidence. And they didn't look like they had confidence in, one, the plays that they were calling or running those plays that they called.
It just looked a little unsettled from the very beginning. Lohmiller, he was hooking them badly in pregame practice, and that one just barely got inside the upright. 7-3.
Good 49er defense. On the next drive on 3rd and 8 near midfield, Steve Young drops back, decides to take the ball and run it. It picks up 22 yards for the last play of the quarter. And that led to this 23-yard Mike Kofa field goal attempt, and it's Washington 3, San Francisco 10. Both teams had a punt on their following drives. Then this with the 49ers on 2nd and 6 at Washington's 29.
Young going deep. Pass intercepted at about the 5 by A.J. Johnson.
We now pick up play with Washington. First down at their own 26.
Joe Gibbs, he seemed, I thought, unusually relaxed and enthusiastic last night.
Yeah, the first thing he came, he had a smile on his face, came in the room, just got off the airplane and said they're calling this game Mission Impossible.
Rippon down by Tim Harris. And out come the 6 guns.
Tim Harris said, you know, earlier in the season, he got penalized for doing this. And here's Tim Harris right up here. We'll see him working on Big Ed Simmons. And he's just going to go into him, start like a bull rush, and then make an inside move on him. Simmons moved his left leg out of there. Anytime a tackle takes his left leg out there, he gives the inside. And Harris says he can do the 6 gun as long as he doesn't do it towards the quarterback or the other team.
It's going to be 2nd and 16 for the Redskins.
Sam Ditko will probably say the 49ers should have ran more when they threw those interceptions. They shouldn't be throwing the ball then.
The reverse to Monk. A lot of people waiting. As Monk had to cut it all the way back and is stopped by Martin Harrison.
You see Dennis Brown, big number 96, he had 2 shots at him. Watch 96. I mean, he's a big old 300-pound guy. Boom, right there he misses him. And then he's going to get up, and Monk is going to come back. Now watch 96 is going to go boom. Right there he misses him again. He gets blocked, and they finally get him down. Well, Dennis Brown is saying, hey, the guy went by me once, I'm still hanging around it, and he went by me the other time.
And somebody blocked me again. 3rd and 13. Ripping across the middle. That's shaky as to whether or not it's a first down, and shaky as to whose ball it is. San Francisco.
I think you're right, Pat. That's a 49er ball.
Dana Whitmore came up with it. Let's see.
Yeah, see, the ball came out. His knee didn't hit. He wasn't down. There was no ground or anything. He was up in the air, and that ball came out while he was in the air. That's a 49er ball. You said David Whitmore. He just took it and brought it over here. That's what everyone does. That's a new thing. You notice that? The guy gets a ball, no matter what the play is, gives it to the equipment man. That's Bronco, the 49er equipment guy. Then the equipment man puts it in some box, and then you have no idea what happens to him after the game.
Well, they know they're going to get some TV time. That's for sure. Outside the Ricky Wallace. Had to spin around backwards, almost made a one-handed catch. Jumpy Gathers is getting a little jumpy.
That's Roy Foster in there, who has really done a good job for this 49er offensive line. You know about Barton and Wallace. They're both in the Pro Bowl. But the middle of this line of the 49ers, Roy Foster at the right guard and Jesse Sapullo, the center. Now, they don't talk much about those guys, but they've been very steady, very good players. See, Steve Young is pretty smart for a quarterback. If you go down and you're on your back, the big guys are fighting over the top of you, get your foot up where you can kick them. You see him?
Yep.
Huh? You got the Brogan up there. Always put a Brogan in the air if big guys are fighting above you.
Young to Rathman. He was hit just as he made the reception. Gets to the 30, a gain of 5. Stopped by Stokes. Less than a minute now. 47 seconds. Young calls a timeout. That's all for San Francisco.
Yeah, that's one of the problems where the quarterback doesn't call his own plays and things are scripted and plays are sent in. You get to a point where you're trying to save timeout. You're trying to call the plays on the field, and you just don't have the tools to do it.
You know, it's amazing. We'll get into this later. How superstition is a part of sports. Yesterday, we were talking to George Seifert. You asked him what were some of his superstitions, and he just sort of backed off and said, I'm not going to tell you.
A part of being superstitious is you don't talk about it.
To Brent Jones, first down, 49ers, a gain of 14.
And again, the 49ers have no timeouts now, so they have to make this no-huddle work. He didn't do that very well.
No, he didn't.
What he was trying to do was pull out, throw the ball down, and stop the clock.
He wound up slamming with both hands.
I know. It looked like, it was close to being a fumble. You got to watch out. You got to, take that ball, then bring it back, and then throw it down. That looked like it was all one action from the snap to going down. Just watch it as it comes out of here. He just gets that ball. No, he did okay. He just threw it down with two hands.
30 seconds left. Got to have your field goal team ready with no timeouts. No flag. Here's Young. Touchdown. Boy, you can't give him much room.
Steve Young has to be the happiest guy there because he threw the interception on the time before. Then the defense went out there. They got the fumble recovery from Brian Mitchell, and Steve Young got his chance again. Watch him. He moves the ball around. You know about Jerry Rice. You know about John Taylor. You also know, watch 84 down here. The closer you get to the goal line, the more he looks for Brent Jones. I'll tell you, Brent Jones fumbled that into the end zone. And he's talking about, I wonder if that was a completion.
Well, he might have, if he did, if the pass was complete, he might have fumbled and recovered his own fumble.
Yeah.
They talk about him. You look at, watch him run whatever patterns they are. Watch it again.
Because when you get down there, you're always looking for that tight end anyway. He did catch the pass. That was a catch. because he caught the ball, came down with both feet, then he has the ball, then as he goes in, he fumbled. Now it is a fumble. So it's not a touchdown until now when he recovers it.
Right.
So that was a throw, a catch, a fumble recovery for a touchdown.
What I started to say a minute ago, this guy, Brent Jones, they say he has a great feel for the passing game. He doesn't run much of a pattern. Watch this.
Well, again, they don't have to. If you just watch the tight end, when he comes down, he'll just be in the middle. And if we could just come down here and just let it go, and then we'll see where he stops in his zone defense. We stop it right now. You see how the defense all kind of comes around here and just leaves him open in the middle of the defense. And usually in any type of zone defense or double coverage or any of that, usually the guy that will be open is the tight end in the middle of the field.
And San Francisco stretched their lead to 17-3 just before halftime. Then on Washington's second drive of the third quarter, Mark Rippon from his own end zone.
Second and 13, Rippon again in the end zone. Going deep. Incomplete and intercepted by Whitmore. Whitmore still down on his feet, out of bounds at the 20, and a flag on the play.
Then Steve Young decides to run again.
Young fakes, got away from one tackler. He's going to take off himself. Young still on his feet, finally fell down at about the 16. Ball is loose.
Washington recovers and drive within field goal range, and Chip Lowmiller from 23 yards out nails it. It's Redskins 6, 49ers 17. We now pick up play after the restart. It's near the end of the quarter. 49ers first down at their own 19.
Ricky Waters, this time taken down by man from the backside. Boy, you think of that counter play that the 49ers ran with number 44 carrying, and you think about the Redskins who made that play famous with number 44.
Yeah, now everyone has some form of that counter play, and you know, in run and pass, but there's still no one that does that play better than the Washington Redskins.
And no one ran it better than Riggins.
Mark Rippon is still trying to. No one did a lot of things better than John Riggins.
That's true.
I'll tell you one thing. You can't go back, but the Redskins wouldn't have that problem inside the 20 if they had John Riggins.
That's also true. Young has the ball slip out of his hands. I don't know if it's a fumble or not. It could be. There was no forward motion of his hand.
Boy, that's an ugly play. Something bad happened there. Yep. The Redskins ball. Red Cash and the referee pointed toward to the Redskins.
Now Roy Foster says, as he claps his hands, calm down.
I did see Red Cash and point. Yeah, that ball goes up, and that's a fumble.
That's what Red called. Charles Fan on the ball.
You see, his arm has to be going forward. The arm was going forward, but the arm went forward after the ball came out. See, again, now watch the ball come out. See, the ball is out of his hands before his hand goes forward.
This rule is a fumble recovery by Washington. First down.
That was a fumble. First down, Redskins at the San Francisco 15.
I tell you, that's 4 turnovers for the San Francisco 49ers. We talked to Richie Pettibone last night. He said, we have to get 4 turnovers. And that was one, they were all given by Young, and that was one that he knew that he was going to fumble that, but he tried to make it look like a forward pass.
Now the Redskins back in that zone again. This is Feiner. Feiner to the 1. And the ball might have come out again, but they say he was down. The ball did come out, but he was down.
I tell you, now it's the same thing. We're getting that finality mixed with the urgency. You know, the urgency that the team that wins goes on, the team that loses is eliminated. I think that's why every play is so big. Every tackle is so big. Every time the ball is on or near the ground is so big. That was no fumble there.
No. That's the end of the third quarter, though, with the score. San Francisco 17, Washington 6. First and goal at the 1 for the Redskins. Rippon doesn't make it.
I think the 49ers that time were waiting for the quarterback sneak. Remember the last time they had the 4th down, on the drive that Rippon kept it alive. He went with a quarterback sneak, and I'm sure that the 49ers are playing what they call gap goal line smash, where you just sell out everything to the inside, and if you go play pass or you go anything to the outside, it's usually a gimme.
Gap goal line smash goes with that thing we did about grit and guts and mud. Second down. He came close this time. Touchdown. Touchdown. Not everybody agrees.
I tell you, once the referee, the official puts his hands up, touchdown, it doesn't make any difference what anyone thinks. But you talk about something changing. Boy, has that changed. You know, and every point that the Redskins have today are the result of a turnover.
Bo Miller's extra point is good, and 14:36 left to play in the fourth quarter. 17-13. Here's the touchdown again.
See what happened is Michael Carter works to the outside. That wasn't gap goal line smash. That was goal line adjustment, where he was going to take that outside hole, and then the linebackers were going to take the inside hole. And then Rippon just quarterback sneaked into that inside hole before the linebackers got there.
The 49ers get possession on the restart, but have to punt. It's now Washington's ball at their own 24.
12:58 left to play. 49ers 17, Redskins 13. Monk in motion. Rippon. Clark. First down, Washington at the 45. Knocked down by Eric Davis.
You know, it's an interesting thing in this game, whether you call it momentum or you call it confidence or whatever you call it. The 49ers had it in the first half, and the Redskins have it in the second half. Here, Gary Clark just comes all the way across the field. You get in that zone, you get behind the linebackers and in front of the defensive backs, and you find that cross alley, and you just run in that cross alley.
And you pick up 22 yards, and you get a first down.
And you had good pass protection.
Finer to midfield, stopped by Pierce Holt.
You know, talking about good pass protection, Pat, Jim Lachey, the big tackle for the Redskins, is out. He has bad ribs. And Joe Jacoby, number 66, has been in there playing for him. And you know, you lose one old warrior and Jim Lachey, and then you get a real old warrior and a tough guy in Joe Jacoby.
What a substitute to have.
I would think any place that I was going to go and anything I was going to do, I would probably want to take number 66 with me.
2nd and 6. Finer gets into 49er territory. 4 more yards, stopped by Ted Washington. They'll need 2 for a first.
Well, the Redskins came back in the second half, and they started to play Redskin football, which is the thing we talked about at halftime, being able to run the ball. Now they're running the ball with Biner and Brian Mitchell and being able to stop the run. They're stopping the 49ers. So the first half was not Redskin football. The second half is Redskin football.
3rd and 2. Sanders in motion. Rippon's going to throw. Got his first down to Sanders. Inside the 49er 40 to the 37, a pickup of 9. Stopped by Griffin.
And again, he has excellent pass protection. You see, they end up in a triple formation, 3 wide receivers on one side. Sanders runs an option pattern. He starts in. If the guy has covered him to the inside, he runs it out. But watch his pass protection. The toughest pass protection is the side the quarterback's throwing to. That's the side where Joe Jacoby and Ray Brown were, because you not only have to block your man, but you have to create a passing lane.
First down, Rippon to throw it again. Has a man. Pass caught. Gary Clark again. Another first down, Washington.
And Joe Jacoby's doing a heck of a job of pass protecting over there. You know, we talk about an old warrior guy's been in this league for 12 years, has everything, bad shoulders, neck, arms, knees, hips, everything. But I tell you, he is really pass protected on these last couple of plays. And he's the guy that has given Rippon the time and the lane and the area to throw to.
And to think, when he first came to the Redskins, they tried to make him play defense.
And to think that when he came out of college, he wasn't drafted. He was a free agent.
They leave it on the ground, and the 49ers come with it. Brian Mitchell lost it on the handoff.
These fans know how big a play that was.
He's got the handle now. That's where he lost it.
That was Rippon. He didn't. He's supposed to hand that ball off. It started to come out of Rippon's hands before it got to Mitchell. Watch as Rippon never gets the ball to Brian Mitchell. He's supposed to hand it to him. The ball started to fall out of his hands. You want it in the pocket just about where the front of your numbers are, and the ball hits him a little low. You see it? It slipped out of Rippon's hands. As he started to, the ball slipped out, and instead of being a handoff, it was slipped into Brian Mitchell.
It was not Mitchell's fault. It just slipped away from Rippon on the exchange. 4 turnovers apiece. Young scrambling out of the pocket. This is planned. Steve Young down at the 40. Monty Coleman, 12 yards for Steve Young, 49er first down. Clock running with just over 9 minutes left.
You know, the interesting thing that Jerry Rice hasn't caught a pass yet this half. We talked about how you have to get Jerry Rice involved. I think that was a big part of the 49ers' success in the first half. And I think that they better get him involved again in this game yet.
First down, 49ers at the 40.
Because if you loosen things up with Jerry Rice, then that makes a lot of things possible. If you don't loosen up with him, then the whole defense can tighten up on you.
Rice is the man in motion. Handoff is to Waters. Ricky Waters outside the 45. A pickup of 6. Coleman made the stop with help from the safety man, Brad Edwards. Montana loosens again.
You know what Ricky Waters can do so well, Pat, is spin. And, you know, I mean, a lot of guys at the end of the run, they'll explode. And that's the way they finish off a run. Ricky Waters, at the end of his run, he spins. So you go to tackle him, and you come up with air a big part of the time. Watch him here as he comes. Instead of just taking that guy on a finish, you see that spin? Now what that spin does, it gets him a couple more yards, but he doesn't take that big impact.
A little bit of changing at the line of scrimmage, and Young is sacked for a loss. In the backside by Jason Buck. Remember Jason Buck? The people in Dallas do.
I'll tell you they do. Watch Jason Buck. He's going to come free. And again, it's going to be Steve Young's backside. Steve Young, first of all, is looking to the left. He doesn't see or feel Jason Buck come from that side.
3rd and 10. There's Buck, who caused the fumble in the Dallas game. They've let the Redskins hang in this playoff picture. Darrell Green is one of the defenders. Young has time, and he gets Jerry Rice. As you said, A.J. Johnson made the stop.
Yeah, that changes the whole game. When you get Jerry Rice into the offense, that changes the whole game. And the guy is the best receiver who's ever played the game for a reason. And when he's not used, then that goes against you. When he is used, then that hurts the other team.
No matter who the other team is.
Because now they have to say Jerry Rice. Now they got to put a double on Jerry Rice. Now they have to loosen up. So that gets some Brent Jones stuff going. That gets your running game going. That gets Taylor. That gets a lot of other things going.
And Rice, the connection, gets the first down and keeps the clock going. Young. Rice. The Redskins say he didn't have it.
And this is the time, it's just a plain hook. You see what he did to A.J. Johnson? A.J. Johnson was going down. He thought he was going deep. He really ran him off. He finally comes back into the thing, but he looked like he did get his hands underneath there.
I think he did. From our angle, he certainly did.
Well, you know, when you can go deep and you're respected like Jerry Rice is, you just run a little hook. And the cornerback, in that case was A.J. Johnson, who's covering you, will run the up for you.
2nd and 1. Look out for Rice again. Well, we'll watch Waters get the first down. And more. Got 5 yards. They needed 1.
Someone just kicked Waters in the head. Did you see that? Waters was down there and some guy put a foot in his head. You can't do that to the guy. Hey, he's a fun guy, though. I mean,
really
Ricky
is.
Waters has brought a lot of running to this team, and he's brought a lot of life to it, too. I mean, he's a guy that everyone kids in practice, and he kids everyone in practice, and that guy has more energy than probably any 10 players on this team.
He reminds you of Roger Craig in his heyday.
He reminds me of a whirling dervish. I don't know what that is.
Young to Waters again. Strong. Bigger than you think. 3 yards on his own.
Hey, he knew that then. He's looking for something now. I mean, he's looking to break a big one here. He said that all week all the players were telling him the words, you know, our backs against the wall, that, you know, it's a short season, it's a new season, Super Bowl, and he said, well, what am I going to do different? I only know one way to play anyway. What am I supposed to do? I can't go any higher than I get.
Well, that's all we've ever seen. Down close to 4 minutes left to play now. Jones goes to Mosley. The pass was to Rice, incomplete. Covered by A.J. Johnson. And that was close.
You're not going to see Jerry Rice drop a lot of passes, but he has A.J. Johnson. He has him going and thinking now. And that pass is right there, and he just let it get too close to him. I mean, Jerry, that was a perfect pass. And I tell you, he has good pass protection, and he's had it all the time here. See Harris Barton on Charles Mann up there? You got that thing, you just get that hand up in there so the guy can't get that inside on you.
Just bounced off his body. 3rd and 7. See if the Redskins come on a blitz. They don't look like it. It's a 3-man rush. Get it outside to Rathman. And Rathman, with his head down, is a little bit short of the first down. Darrell Green up to assist on the tackle.
And this is going to be an interesting call here for George Seifert. I think in this, see, the score is 17-13, where a touchdown could beat you.
They're going for it. And I think that's a very intelligent call. I agree with you. Touchdown can beat you.
Well, you know, the thing is, as it stands now, if they put 3 on, then it would be 20, so then a touchdown could tie them.
They need to get to the line for the first down. Talk about a foot or a season or whatever. This could be it, the finality of the whole thing for one of these two teams. They get the first down, not over yet by any means, but it surely would help the 49er call.
Would start you up that road.
Young on the quarterback sneak has it. For 2 yards. It wasn't really a straight-ahead sneak. He went almost over the right tackle to get it.
Yeah, he started out over the right guard, Roy Foster, and then ended up in there between Foster and Harris Barton. I think that's a good place to run a quarterback one way or the other. But watch him. He's going to start here, and you see that. There's Foster. There's Harris Barton. He darn near got all the way outside of Harris Barton. But he was going down that line and trying to find a soft spot. And he found that soft spot, really, in what you call the 6-hole, the off-tackle hole.
Young has 75 yards and 7 carries. They go in a hurry. Waters to about the 18. Clock still running. 2nd and 9. 49ers at the Redskin 18. Young out of the pocket. Going deep. Incomplete. For Rice. Covered by Johnson in the end zone. This game presented by authority of the National Football League. The CBS telecast intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of CBS, the 49ers, and the National Football League is prohibited. Third and 9. They use 5 seconds. It's 2:33 left to play. San Francisco 17, Washington 13. Third and 9. A handoff to Rathman. To about the 14. A timeout, Washington.
And the 49ers went for it on the fourth down, and again they didn't go for the field goal then, but now they have to go for the field goal. So you say, well, they have to go for the field goal anyway, but the two things they did is they took some time off the clock, and of course they got better field goal position for Mike Topher.
Most kickers are better, particularly soccer-style kickers, from the right hash mark.
Yeah, because they all have that hook.
Natural hook.
The natural hook. But the one thing that he's worried about, as you see him there, is his plant foot. You know, that when he puts that left foot down, that it doesn't slide. See him keep working that left foot there. That's one. It's not the right foot that's going to do the kicking. I think he feels pretty confident about that. But if he has any question in his mind right now, it's his left or plant foot.
If he should slip, he picks up a divot and moved it. And all the housekeeping helps. It's good. San Francisco 20, Washington 13. 2:22 left to play. The Redskins have only one timeout left. Topher.
Everyone has a celebration. The Redskins still have 2 minutes and 22 seconds to tie this game with a touchdown.
Short kick. Danny Copeland takes it at the 12. Scrambled around. Got out to about the 22. 10-yard return, Mark Logan down to make the stop. Logan always excellent on special teams. Rippon 18 out of 35. 2 interceptions, 246 yards. He scored the Redskin touchdown.
Hey, Mark Rippon has struggled all year, but he's hung in there all year. I mean, he's taken his share of shots on the field and off the field, and now he has 2 minutes. Get a touchdown.
2:12 left. The ball on the 22-yard line. The Redskin 22. So Rippon back to throw it. And now he's going to run. Pierce Holt will be the last to get up.
And that was excellent coverage down here. He was trying to go to Art Monk, and that wasn't as much. He's rolling out, and he's going to go down here to number 81, Art Monk. Now watch Eric Davis here. Again, good coverage. Eric Davis has made some big plays today. You see, and they had Monk doubled. That's who he was looking for. That's who he wanted to throw to. He couldn't, and he took the sack.
2nd and 16 and Rippon. Incomplete. Into the hands and out of Brian Mitchell.
Boy, that was a big drop there, because that was not only a completion, it would have got him out of bad field position, but it would also have given him a first down.
And how confetti tastes.
And someone probably had that idea. Okay, we'll bring the confetti, and if and when the 49ers win, we will throw it all over ourselves. That's a little early. You got to wait.
A minute 55 left to play. 20 to 13. 49ers leading. Rippon again. Back to throw it. Caught by Clark. That gives them breathing room. Thane Gash on the stop, a 24-yard gain. No huddle.
It gives them breathing room. It gives them a whole new set of downs, and it gives them a lot better field position. Again, remember, they're driving for a touchdown. A field goal is no good.
And they've had difficulty getting into the end zone. Here's Rippon. Down he goes. They only have one timeout left. Dennis Brown made the sack on Rippon. They'll stop the clock there with 1:25 left.
Again, I think that was a coverage sack. They did the same thing earlier. Mark Rippon rolled. They had coverage on Monk. He had to take a sack, and he took one there.
2nd and 14. They started the clock again after the sack. Flag on the play way downfield. Rippon goes down. The 49ers have the ball. Martin Harrison fell on it. He made the tackle. I'm not sure who fell on it, but the flag was way downfield. It's against the 49ers.
And the Redskins did fall on it, so it's their ball anyway.
Holding. Number 26 on the defense. 5 yards. First down.
That's a first down. Holding against Magruder. There it is.
And that's the big thing. A couple of big things. One, that they caught him. I mean, he almost took Clark's jersey off right there. But it also, again, it gives him a new set of downs, and it stops the clock.
1 minute and 5 seconds left. Rippon to throw. Maybe. Again, he's sacked. This time by guess who? Here's Holt.
If there's anyone who's been a nemesis today for Mark Rippon in that passing pocket, it's been Pierce Holt. Not only when he sacked him, but he's been around there. He's been knocking him around. He's been stepping in front of him. He's been doing all those things.
He should be listed as a player.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, he's just a football player. He looks like a football player, and he acts like a football player. And the most important thing when it comes out here on Sunday, he plays like one. And every guy, whoever plays against Pierce Holt, will tell you that the guy's motor runs 100% of the time. It never runs down. It never runs slow. It's always going at full-out rev.
Well, the 49ers took a lot of grief from a lot of people for drafting him. He's been painting houses, doing all kinds of things. Played at a minor college, small college. They won't like that.
Yeah, what is Angelo State?
Here's Rippon. Clark was the intended receiver. Art Monk was the intended receiver. Out of bounds in front of the 49er bench. 3rd down.
Joe Gibbs is one of the few head coaches in the league that calls his own plays. That's his game plan there. He has that written out just on a yellow pad. Always thinking ahead. Knows exactly what every situation is. Knows who's in the game, what they do best. Knows all the matchup.
3rd down and 17. The protection is good. The pass is incomplete. Through the hands of Ricky Sanders. It would have been enough for a first down. 41 seconds left to play.
Mark Rippon is doing his part. As you said, that went right through Ricky Sanders' hands. We had one earlier where Brian Mitchell went right through his hands. So again, Mark Rippon has taken criticism this year. Some of it, he's had some problems, but everything that goes wrong with the Redskins offense is not Mark Rippon.
Mark Rippon breaks him out of the huddle. This is the Redskins season. 4th and 17. They need a first. 41 seconds left to go. Rippon, all the time in the world. Got to be rid of it. He does. Incomplete. Middleton had it go right through his hand. Rippon couldn't find anyone to throw to. Now, the men in red can celebrate. Crowd can start to tramp through the mud. The 49ers will advance.
Now they can pull out that confetti.
Yeah. Now the championship game will be right here.
Yeah, like I said, there's no better feeling than winning a playoff game that takes you to a championship game, and there's no lower feeling than losing it. The Redskins, defending champions.
You think about a guy like Jacoby, whom we just had a shot of whom we just had a shot. Could be his last game. Joe Jacoby, and what a warrior he's been.
And he kind of represents his whole team. I mean, the Redskins, they've had their injuries. They've had everything go against them that could, and they just fought through it. And, you know, and they got here to this position. This is as far as they could get, but they had a great year anyway.
Remarkable achievement with all the injuries they had to get this far.